What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great rest of your day. Today, we're going to be going over the movies that I saw this week. Well, I only saw one movie this week, but there were multiple movies that came out. So, we're going to go and talk about those a little bit. And then we're going to do what we always do, go over the box office of the week or the weekend, and then go over what movies will be coming out this upcoming week. So, let's go ahead and get right onto it. So, first off, there was three movies that released this week. There was I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's the one that I saw. There was Eddington, which I wanted to see, but also didn't. And one day I wasn't able to. And then today, when I just came around to it, I'm not a big Ari Aster fan. And a 2.5 hour movie about COVID and a Hollywood take on it, or whatever his weird take may or may not be for that movie, it's just not something that interests me. So I might get around to seeing it, but I'm not dying to see it, if I'm being honest. So I didn't see it today. And then Smurfs also came out on Friday, but I don't have a child, and I don't care to see Smurfs at all. It does nothing for me. So I will not be talking about Eddington or the Smurfs, but what I will be talking about is the movie that I did see, and that was I Know What You Did Last Summer. This movie was okay. I have my review on it. I have my review out on it on Crosstalks Movies, so be sure to go check out that review. It's a quick little 3 minute review. This isn't. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad movie. It's just not a good horror thriller movie either. It tries too hard to be funny, and it just isn't. There's attractive people that get killed, and that's what slasher movies are known for. They're known for having particularly hot chicks getting killed, and so that's a fun time, but it's nothing special. The Jennifer Love Hewitt is basically a cameo in this movie. They should have just not even shown her in the trailer and just had her be a cameo, because Sarah Michelle Gellar did have a cameo as well, and that was cool. But her character's dead, so it was just like it was just to have her in the movie is what her cameo was. Freddie Prinze Jr., he had a little bit more screen time than Jennifer Love Hewitt, so I wouldn't say his role was necessarily a cameo, but the killer's pretty predictable. They made him one of the killers. I did not like that. They went on that trope of like, oh, all men are bad, and like boss girl this, boss girl that, and like little petite little girl can beat up grown adult man. They just shit like that just makes no sense at all. So that part I didn't like about it, but what I did like about it though is that there's a good movie in there somewhere. There's a fun slasher movie in there somewhere. And luckily for me, I've only seen the original trilogy once, each movie once, and that was like 2 3 years ago. So I really don't remember it. So I don't have a lot of comparison between the new one and the old one. But I think there is a place where they can continue to grow this franchise. They set up a sequel for it, which I believe had to bring in a character from the second movie. It was obviously either the second or the third. I want to say it was the second one. So there's set up for that. I hope that they kind of change some stuff up, and have Jennifer Love Hewitt's Julie be more of a role than a cameo. But they can continue to grow with this franchise and continue to grow with the new cast, kind of like how Scream has been doing. I like the new Screams quite a bit. So if they get somewhat of the same team there over at the I Know We Did Last Summer, you could do some stuff. I could see this movie making a decent chunk of money. It was in the top 5 in the box office this weekend, which we'll go over in a little bit. And yeah, there's nothing. I don't regret seeing it by any means. It's a lot of like, okay, like this is predictable. This is easy to see coming. This is kind of in a sense old news with the whole like woke mentality. It's not that bad of a woke thing, but it is in there. So, but at the same time, I also don't like when movies make the female leads the damsel in distress. That gets old too. That's why it's almost kind of tough to rewatch the original Spider-Man trilogy, because every movie Mary Jane's always in trouble. Whereas like in the Amazing Spider-Man, not Emma Stone. It's played by Emma Stone, but Gwen Stacy, she's in trouble, but she's also doing stuff. She's not just like there captured. And so I don't like when movies do that either, to be fair to the other end of the spectrum. So I think there's good that they can do moving forward with this movie. Is this movie the right way to restart the franchise? I can honestly say I don't know, but it wasn't completely terrible. So I will give it that. The funniest, some of the characters though, or I don't know if it's more so the character or the actor, kind of just felt like a stone wall, to be honest. But the main characters, the main two girls, I did like them, and then I like the one girl. I don't know her name in real life, but I like her from Outer Banks. I like that show. So it's Madeline Klein, I think is her name. But they have a good dynamic and they're like a good like best friend relationship type thing. And so like I could see them working together. I just wouldn't want it to turn into this like all girl Avengers style I Know You Did Last Summer movie. Like I'd like to see them have good characters coming in that are also male and protectors and things like that, and that aren't just like either A, dum dums, or B, the ones that are the killers. So that's what I like to see if the franchise moves forward. Again, I don't regret seeing it. I would recommend seeing it on like a half off Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever like theater deal your theater does. I wouldn't recommend spending $25 to see it or whatever it may be. I think around me the like average is like $18 to $20. So definitely don't spend that kind of money on it, but go on a half off day, get some like half off popcorn or whatever, and it's a decent flick. And the pacing is fairly well in this movie. It doesn't feel like it drags on at all, and it's right around 2 hours, a little bit under, and I think that's with the credits as well. So it does go by fairly quickly. So with that, that was I Know You Did Last Summer. Again, the review is on Crosstalks Movies. Go over to that sub channel and check it out. Be sure to leave a like there and subscribe there. And I did not see Eddington again, and I did not see the Smurfs. I might see Eddington. I'm just not going to go out of my way to see it. So that's a movie that I may or may not be seeing in the theaters. If I do, I'll be sure to provide a review. If I wait till streaming or whatever, I'll probably just put it up as a short. But anyways, that was the movies slash movie of the week that I saw. So next up, we are going to go ahead and go over the box office. So let's check it out. Hey, why is it doing that? This thing's all. That was. No, that's not that either. Why is this all jacked up? Uh-oh. There we go. I don't know why that was like that. What the fuck? Okay. So, box office of the weekend, Superman in its second weekend made number one at the box office. It made 57.2 million. It had about a 54% drop. That's pretty average with the drop in the movies. Second place was Jurassic World Rebirth with 23.4 million. 42% drop from its second week, which is pretty good. It's holding up decent numbers. I Know You Did Last Summer came in third place with 13 million. Smurfs in fourth place with 11 million. That is surprising to me. I did not expect that many people, and by people, it's mostly families. I did not expect that many families to go out and see the Smurfs. I thought for sure Smurfs would have barely been in the top 10, not in the top 5. So good for the Smurfs. Kind of bad for I Know You Did Last Summer. My theater was fully packed for I Know You Did Last Summer, but it looks like not too many people went to go see it. Fifth place is F1. F1's still in the top 5 after a month in the theater. So good for F1. That's really good. And a 26% drop from its third week. Not bad. Oh, it's holding up. I think people are trying to get out to see it in its big theater screens, premium screenings before it completely leaves. I think few theaters here and there have a little bit more IMAX screenings left. How to Train Your Dragon, which came out on digital this last week, in sixth place, making 5.3 million. Eddington in seventh place with 4.2 million. Now, this is a very, I think it's A24, so it's a little bit more of a limited release, but I did expect it to do more. Ari Aster, he's known for like Midsummer, Hereditary. I think his last movie was Beau is Afraid. So not necessarily that those are big movies, but they're decently known and well respected movies. And then eighth place, Elio, still in the top 10. It's in its fifth week. I mean, it hasn't done that great as far as Pixar standards go for box office, but Elio's still in the top 10. Lilo and Stitch, ninth place, 1.5. It officially crossed the $1 billion mark, which we'll get to in a minute. And in 10th place, 28 years later, making 1.3 million in its fifth week. So that's crazy for Lilo and Stitch to be in almost its 10th week, 9 weeks in, and made 1.5 million. Wild. And Mission Impossible, it passed its domestic run of Rogue Nation. And Rogue Nation is my favorite Mission Impossible. And it's passed its domestic run of the box office there, but not worldwide. Not yet. But so that is your top 10 of the box office for the week in the domestic in the United States. And let's go ahead and check on our worldwide numbers. Lilo and Stitch is here at number 2 with barely passing the $1 billion mark, but is the first U.S.-based $1 billion movie of the year. Ne Zha 2 is still there at 1.8. It looks like it's not going to get passed, but again, most of this number is from China, and they lie and fudge their numbers. I don't know how they do it, but they do. I've heard it be explained a couple different times, and I don't want to go back into the research on how to do it. I just know not to trust their numbers. Number 3 is Minecraft with 955 million. Their box office run is done. Jurassic World Rebirth is slowly climbing. It has not made nearly as much as I think people thought it would, especially after the opening week that it had. It made around 500 million in its first week. It's been out for 2 more weeks, and it's only at 647. So it's probably not going to cross that $1 billion mark. I would say it's probably going to end its theatrical run near or around the 750. I don't know if it'll make that much more, but we will see. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning in 5th place with 588 million worldwide. How to Train Your Dragon with 580 million worldwide. Very close to passing that Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Because it's already out on digital, I don't think it will, but it might. It might. I didn't think that Lilo and Stitch was going to hit the $1 billion mark, so I have not taken into account people that may have already bought tickets for this upcoming week or walk up business. So with that, it has a good chance of passing it, but Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is still in theaters, and it does not have a release date for digital or for physical media. So that's a give and take there. F1 is in in 7th place with 460 million worldwide. Captain America: Brave New World done with its theatrical run at 415 million worldwide. Superman in its second week has bumped up into the top 10 with 406 million. It will probably cross Captain America and or F1 this upcoming week. But the tricky thing about that is that we have Fantastic Four coming out this week. So Fantastic Four and Superman are the same demographic. However, if people like Superman, they'll go see Fantastic Four. If they like Fantastic Four, they'll have that energy when you leave a good movie, or or the energy you have when you left a fun movie, and they might want to go back and see Superman again. So that's a very potential like thing, or maybe those that are just Marvel people only will see Fantastic Four, like Fantastic Four, and be like, okay, let's give Superman a shot, and then go see Superman anyways. So there's a chance that Superman could jump to number 7 next week. And then capping off the top 10 is Thunderbolts, which has finished its theatrical run with $382 million. So that is your top 10 worldwide box office numbers for the year so far. And next up, we're going to go ahead and get to the movies coming up this week. So coming up this week, as I said, we have the Fantastic Four coming. I got my tickets for Thursday in IMAX. I'm also going to Comic-Con that Thursday as well. So that should be a fun day. There's a new movie coming out with Logan Lerman and this girl. I don't know her name, but she's in The Bear. It's called Oh Hi. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look like a bad movie. It looks like an independent movie for sure. This movie called Ick is a Fathom event movie. It comes out on Sunday. It's with Brandon Routh, who played Superman in Superman Returns. I think they filmed it last year. Maybe they shelved it and it's getting released for the weekend this year or something like that. I don't know the whole story behind it, but I've seen the trailer once. It doesn't look bad, and it's got decent reviews. And coming up on Netflix is going to be Happy Gilmore 2 this upcoming, I believe, Friday or Saturday. So be sure to check that out on Netflix as well. And along with these other 3 movies, I will for sure be seeing Fantastic Four. I don't know if I'll be seeing the other 2. I'll see how my week goes and what happens. I'm going to Comic-Con on Sunday as well. So sometimes with these Fathom movies, I'll go check them out on Sunday and then come back and talk about it. But I will be busy that day. So I might not get around to seeing it. And Oh Hi looks good, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see it either. So, but with that, let me know about those movies. And if you're going to see them, what you think looks good, what doesn't look good, if there's any other movies that I didn't mention that you want to see coming out this week, go ahead and let me know in the comments. So with that, that is it. That's your movies of the week. So again, I talked about, I Know You Did Last Summer. Eddington and Smurfs came out. I didn't see those 2. The upcoming movies are going to be Fantastic Four, Oh Hi. Those are like the 2 of the bigger releases coming up for this upcoming week. And I'll be posting some like videos or shorts at Comic-Con. I've never been, so I'm pretty excited to go. And then I will have my review out for Fantastic Four most likely next Sunday. So with that, I'm out of here. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the movies. Peace.